Have you ever noticed that the more you try to open up to your family, the more complicated things seem to get? You share something from the heart, hoping it will build a bridge of understanding. But instead, you end up feeling quietly misunderstood, maybe even a little judged. For generations, we've been taught that total honesty is the glue that holds a family together. It's a belief we all want to be true, isn't it? But that belief, as well-intentioned as it is, can become a painful trap. It's a hard lesson that many of my patients learn too late. They share everything, thinking it's an act of love and trust, only to find that it unintentionally invites judgment, pressure, and a quiet loss of control over their own lives. This simple act of sharing can silently begin to chip away at your independence, your dignity, and your peace. As a family doctor for over 30 years, I'm going to tell you something that goes against everything we've been taught. For a peaceful life after 65, some things are better left unsaid. Not because they are shameful secrets, but because your peace of mind is the most valuable asset you own. I'm not talking about theories from a textbook. I'm thinking of a dear patient of mine, Michael, a wonderful 81-year-old man who laid out all his finances for his sons, thinking it would bring them peace. Instead, it slowly eroded his freedom. In this video, we're going to walk through the 5 specific secrets that, when guarded wisely, can protect you. This isn't about building walls. It's about drawing healthy boundaries so you can live your golden years with the respect you deserve. And please, be sure to stay with me until the very end. The 5th secret is the one I see cause the most silent, lasting heartache in families. Understanding it can protect not just your money, but the very heart of your relationships. Everything I'm sharing today comes from decades of sitting with my patients, listening to their real-life stories. These are lessons learned from people just like you. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have felt this. If what I just shared feels even a little bit familiar, please take a moment and comment a simple yes below. It lets me know that you understand, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's begin. Alright, let's start with the 1st secret. And it's a big one, the one that touches on so many deeply held beliefs about family and trust. Secret number 1. Your exact financial situation. Let's talk about money. For decades, the common advice, often given with the best of intentions, is to be a completely open book with your adult children about your finances. The thinking goes that if you lay everything on the table, your savings, your investments, your retirement accounts, you'll prevent surprises and confusion down the road. It seems like the responsible, loving thing to do. You're simply trying to make things easier for them when you're no longer here. But from what I have seen in my practice, sitting with hundreds of families over the years, this act of total transparency can quietly become one of the biggest threats to your peace and your independence. Here is the core reason why this becomes so complicated, especially as we age. The moment you share the exact numbers, the very dynamic of your relationship can begin to shift. It's often subtle at first. Your children's love and genuine concern for you can get tangled up with their own financial anxieties, their own life pressures. Without anyone meaning for it to happen, they start to see you not just as mom or dad, but as a financial plan that needs to be managed. Their protective instincts kick into overdrive, and suddenly, they feel a responsibility to have a say in how that plan is executed. This is where you start to notice the symptoms. A quiet feeling of being judged for every little purchase you make. You decide to buy a new, more comfortable recliner, and you hear a comment like, "Wow, that must have been expensive." You make a generous donation to your church or a charity you believe in, and you're met with a questioning silence that feels heavy. You plan a small vacation, and you're asked, "Dad, at your age, is that really a wise way to be spending your money?" Suddenly, your own financial decisions, made with the money you worked your entire life to earn, feel like they are up for a committee vote. Your freedom, your very autonomy, starts to feel like it's shrinking day by day. This is exactly what happened to my patient, Michael. Michael is a wonderful 81-year-old retired engineer, a man with a sharp mind who had meticulously planned for his retirement. Thinking he was doing the right thing, he sat his 2 sons down and walked them through everything. He even had spreadsheets. He was proud of how he had managed his resources and wanted to give his sons peace of mind. But the result was the exact opposite. Soon, the loving check-in calls became financial checkups. His sons started questioning him. "Dad, why are you still rattling around in this big house? You know, the market is good right now, maybe we should think about selling. They suggested he downsize for his own good, to free up capital. He once told me, with such sadness in his voice, "I feel like I'm no longer the CEO of my own life. I'm just the manager of an estate they're waiting to inherit." The solution isn't to be secretive or to avoid planning. In fact, it's the opposite. The answer is to be prepared, but private. Work with a financial advisor and a lawyer. Have your legal documents in perfect order, a clear will, a living trust, a durable power of attorney. Appoint someone you trust completely to execute your wishes. This is responsible planning. But you do not owe anyone a line-by-line report of your finances. You don't need to justify your spending. Your money is not just a number in a bank account. It is the physical story of your life's hard work, your sacrifices, and your choices. You have earned the right to control that story. So, protect it. Protect your peace. If you believe in the importance of financial independence at every age, please take a moment to comment on my life below. It's a powerful affirmation for yourself and for everyone else in this community. Now, for our second secret. This one is less about numbers on a page and more about the very personal story our bodies tell every day. Secret number 2. Every little ache and pain. Next, let's talk about our health. It's one of the most natural things in the world, isn't it? To share our experiences with the people we love. When your back is acting up, or a knee is feeling stiff, or you just didn't get a good night's sleep, it feels normal to mention it to your children or grandchildren. You're just sharing a small piece of your day, looking for a little bit of empathy, a little connection. And often, their response comes from a deep well of love. But this is another area where that love, however pure, can inadvertently start to chip away at your independence. The fundamental problem here lies in perception. When you mention a small, passing complaint, you see it for what it is, a temporary discomfort, a normal part of aging. But when your loving children hear it, their protective instincts can kick in with surprising force. To you, a comment like, "I felt a little dizzy this morning," is just a statement of fact. To them, it can sound like a blaring warning bell, a signal of a larger, more frightening decline. And this is where the crucial shift happens in their minds. Without even realizing it, they begin to see you as fragile. Once that perception takes hold, the symptoms in your life start to change. You begin to feel handled, managed. You'll be reaching for a bag of groceries, and a hand will jump in front of yours with, "Mom, are you sure you should be lifting that? Let me get it." You'll mention you're driving to see a friend that evening, and you'll hear, "Dad, maybe you shouldn't drive at night anymore. Your eyes aren't what they used to be." Slowly but surely, your world can start to feel smaller. And it's not because you are actually less capable, but because you are being treated as if you are. Their fear for you can become a cage, even if it's a cage built with love. I saw this happen so clearly with a patient of mine, Carol. Carol is a fiercely independent 76-year-old widow. She has a beautiful garden she tends to herself, volunteers at the library, and walks her little dog every single morning. She is the picture of vitality. One day, after a long weekend of planting new rose bushes, she was having coffee with her daughter and mentioned offhandedly that her shoulders were a bit sore. That was it. Just a simple, honest comment. Her daughter's reaction was immediate. She panicked. She booked Carol a physical therapy appointment without asking, started calling twice a day to check in, and even researched home care aids. Carol told me later, "I felt like I was being suffocated by kindness. One minute I was a capable woman enjoying my garden, and the next, I was being treated like a fragile piece of glass. All because of one comment about sore shoulders." The solution, of course, is not to suffer in silence or hide a serious medical issue. If you receive a significant diagnosis or if a condition is truly affecting your daily life and you need support, you absolutely must share it. Your family deserves to know, and you deserve their help. But for the day-to-day aches and pains of living in a body that has carried you for 7 or 8 decades, the best approach is to report to your doctor, but only give summaries to your family. Keep a journal of your symptoms for your physician. Be diligent about your health. But with your family, you can simply say, "I had my checkup, and the doctor says everything is looking good." This protects your independence, It protects them from unnecessary worry. It allows them to continue seeing you for who you are, a whole, strong, capable person. This is about living with strength and being seen for that strength. If you agree, please type dignity in the comments. Alright, this next one is tricky. It involves the heart of the family, and that's where things can get the most complicated. Secret number 3. Your opinion on family conflicts. As we become the elders of our family, the patriarchs and matriarchs, we often feel a certain responsibility. We've seen it all, haven't we? We've watched siblings argue, we've seen in-laws misunderstand each other, and we've seen old grudges surface over the smallest things. And because we have that long view, that lifetime of experience, we feel this powerful tug to step in. We want to be the peacemaker, the wise counsel, the one who can smooth things over. It comes from a desire to see the family you built remain whole and happy. But this is perhaps the most dangerous trap of all. The core of the danger is this. No matter how wise, how gentle, or how fair your advice is, the moment you step into a conflict between two other family members, you are no longer a neutral, loving observer. You become part of the conflict itself. Think of it like this. When the dust settles, the original two combatants might forgive each other. The issue they were fighting about might fade away. But what they will remember, with perfect clarity, is what you said. And almost always, at least one person, and often both, will feel that you took the other person's side. Your words, spoken with the intent to heal, become a new source of hurt. The symptom of this is a painful, creeping distance. The phone calls from one of your children might become less frequent. There might be a certain coldness during the next holiday gathering that you just can't put your finger on. You tried to help, but now you find yourself feeling isolated, pushed to the outside. You became associated with the pain of the argument, not the resolution. You were just trying to hold the family together, and now you feel like the one being held at arm's length. It is a profoundly lonely feeling. A dear friend of mine, Helen, who is 80 and sharp as a tack, learned this in the most heartbreaking way. During a visit with her daughter, she made one gentle suggestion about how her daughter was parenting her 5-year-old grandson. It was about tidying up toys. Something so small. She said it in the kindest, most supportive way she knew how. But her daughter didn't hear the help. She heard criticism. She heard judgment. Helen told me the shift was immediate. Her daughter grew quiet. The visits stopped. That one single sentence, meant with nothing but love, created a rift that, sadly, never fully healed. In her daughter's mind, Helen had crossed a line, and she was now the critic. So, what is the solution? It feels counterintuitive, but the most loving thing you can do is often to stay out of it. Your role is not to be the judge, it is to be the safe harbor. You are the calm eye of the storm. The most powerful and healing words you can say are simply, "I love you both very much, and I have complete faith that you too will be able to work this out." By saying this, you are not abandoning them. You are empowering them. You are showing them your unwavering love and your belief in their ability to solve their own problems, just as you once did. Be a presence of calm, not a participant in every battle. Your peace and the long-term health of your family depend on it. If you believe your most important role now is to be a source of calm, please take a moment and comment peace. Let's move on to our fourth secret. This one is quieter, more internal, but it holds a surprising power to affect the people we love. Secret number 4. Your deepest regrets. As we get older, it's only natural to look back over the long road we've traveled. And with that reflection comes an awareness of the other paths we could have taken. The what ifs. The I wish I hads. These are our regrets. They are a normal, human part of having lived a full and complex life. And sometimes, in a quiet moment with a child or grandchild, we feel the urge to share them. We might say something like, "You know, I always wish I had taken that job in California," or, "I sometimes regret not learning to play the piano." We're not trying to complain. We are trying to share a piece of our inner world, our humanity. But here is the deeply complex reason why this can be hurtful. While you are simply reflecting on your own life, your loved ones often hear your words through a completely different filter. The filter of their own life and their role in yours. Your personal reflection can accidentally become their personal burden of guilt. When you say, I wish I had traveled more before I had kids. You are just expressing a wistful thought. But your child might hear, my existence is the reason my mother never got to see Paris. Was our family a burden to her? They can feel responsible for your unfulfilled dreams. The most common symptom of this is that it puts an invisible weight on their shoulders. It can create a subtle sadness in their relationship with you. They might start to see your life not as one of contentment and love, but as one of silent sacrifice. It can also unintentionally frame you as someone who is stuck in the past, someone whose best days are behind them. This might cause them to treat you more delicately, as if you are in a state of perpetual sorrow, even when that's not how you feel at all. They start to feel a sense of pity for you, and pity is a terrible foundation for a relationship between a parent and a child. It erodes respect and true connection. I remember a conversation with Barbara, a lovely 79-year-old retired teacher who had raised 4 wonderful children. She was walking with her youngest daughter one afternoon and sighed, sharing a long-held regret about not pursuing a different, more adventurous career when she was young. Her daughter didn't say much at the time, but later confessed to a friend that the comment had deeply wounded her. It made her feel that all of her mother's sacrifices, all the years she poured into raising her family, hadn't ultimately brought her happiness. It made her question if her mother's life with them was enough. This is not about being dishonest or pretending you have no regrets. Your life story is yours, and it's valid. The solution is simply to reframe your narrative. It's a small shift in language that makes a world of difference. Instead of saying, I wish I had done X, try saying, I learned so much from the path I took. Instead of focusing on what was lost, focus on what was gained. Frame your life as a source of powerful lessons, not a series of missed opportunities. This allows you to share your life's journey and its complexities without unintentionally placing the weight of your past on the shoulders of the people you love most in the present. Let's celebrate a life of lessons learned. If this resonates with you, please comment wisdom below. And now, for our 5th and final secret. In many ways, this is the most difficult one, because it combines the sensitivity of finances with the deep emotions of family legacy. Secret number 5. Your detailed plans for your assets. Finally, let's talk about the topic everyone thinks should be an open conversation: your will and your inheritance. The modern advice is all about transparency. Tell your children exactly what to expect, they say. It will prevent fighting and confusion after you're gone. On the surface, this sounds logical, even responsible. You're just trying to be fair and make a difficult time a little bit easier for your children. But I must tell you, from the bottom of my heart, revealing the specific details of who gets what too early can unleash a storm of quiet resentment, competition, and heartache. The core problem is a deeply human one. The moment you turn your will from a private legal document into a topic for family discussion, you risk changing how your children see you. Unintentionally, their focus can shift from you, the person, their mother or father, to your assets, the things you own. It can stir up old childhood rivalries and create a sense of comparison and entitlement that may have been dormant for decades. One child might feel they deserve more because they live closer, while another feels they should get more because they are struggling financially. Your love becomes something that they feel can be measured in dollar amounts and percentages. The most painful symptom of this is that you may start to notice them questioning how you live your life now. You might hear comments like, "Dad, are you sure you need that new car? You know, that money is part of our inheritance." Or, "Mom, if you're going to sell the house anyway, why spend money on renovating the kitchen?" You are suddenly put in the agonizing position of having to justify spending your own money during your own lifetime. It's as if you are no longer the owner of your life's assets, but merely the temporary custodian of their future inheritance. It can make you feel like your life is over before it has truly ended. This was the devastating experience of my patient, Susan. Susan is 83, a retired nurse who has always been incredibly fair and thoughtful. Wanting to do the right thing, she sat down with her 3 children and told them her exact plans for how her estate would be divided. The fallout was almost immediate. Her middle son started pressuring her to sell her house while the market was good. Her daughter began questioning why the split wasn't different, citing her own financial needs. Susan came to my office in tears one day and said something I will never forget. She said, "I feel like they're waiting for me to die. They don't see me anymore." They just see what I'm leaving behind. The solution here, as with your finances, is to be legally prepared, but personally private. Go to an estate planning attorney. Create a rock-solid, legally sound will or trust that clearly states your wishes. Make sure it is airtight. But you are under no obligation to share those details with anyone except the person you name as your executor. Your true legacy is not the money in your bank account or the value of your home. Your true legacy is the love you've given, the values you've instilled, and the memories you've created. That is what truly matters. Let them remember you for that, not for what you left behind. Your true worth is not in your wallet. If you agree with this fundamental truth, please take a moment to comment legacy. As we come to the end of our time together, let's go back to where we started. We began this talk by acknowledging that painful, confusing feeling when you open your heart to your family, only to find that it costs you your peace. We talked about Michael, who felt he was no longer the CEO of his own life after sharing his finances. We talked about Carol, who was suffocated by the kindness of a daughter who suddenly saw her as fragile. These stories, the stories of Helen, Barbara, and Susan, they aren't just cautionary tales. They are powerful reminders that this isn't just a feeling. It's a real and present risk to our well-being, our dignity, and the health of our most precious relationships. The lesson woven through all of these secrets is a simple one, but it is also one of the most profound truths we can embrace in this chapter of our lives. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is not an act of distrust or secrecy. It is an act of profound wisdom and deep self-respect. You have spent a lifetime giving your time, your energy, your support, and your unconditional love. And now it is your time to guard and protect the quiet, steady calm that you have so rightfully earned. Knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, as we wrap up, I have one final and most important question for you. After hearing all of this today, what is the one commitment you are making to yourself this week to protect your peace? It could be something small, yet powerful. Maybe your commitment is, I will not step into a family argument. Or perhaps, I will buy myself something nice without feeling the need to explain it to anyone. Or even, I will reframe a past regret into a lesson I learned. Please, take a moment to share your personal commitment in the comments below. Your promise will not only strengthen your own resolve, but it will also inspire every single person in this community who reads it. Let's lift each other up by taking that first, important step. And if you found real value and a sense of comfort in our time together today, you can show your support by giving this video a simple like. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another conversation full of this kind of life-changing wisdom, please hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a warm and growing community dedicated to living our best lives together. Finally, think of just one person in your life who might need to hear this message today. A friend, a sibling, a neighbor. And please, share it with them. You never know whose heart you might touch, or whose peace you might help protect. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Take care of your heart, take care of your peace, and never, ever forget, you've earned it.